Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Fusion Hub on the International Business Growth Radio. I am Chris Mayfield. I am your host for the next 30 minutes, so buckle up. This will be unlike any business radio show you have ever heard because on the Fusion Hub, we mix business, community, and culture all in one big ugly mess and then tease it out just a little bit at a time. So as is a tradition here on the Fusion Hub, we love to have great guests because they are what makes the world go round. And today we are joined by Blaire Brown. Blaire, good morning.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here.
All right, you may have a little bit too much energy. I haven't had enough coffee yet, so I'm just
Fire up
kidding.
that Curate.
Bring
Come
it
on,
on.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm
Bring
working
it
on it.
on.
So Blaire, blairebrown.com. Tell us
That's
a little bit
me.
about yourself and your business and why you do what you do.
All right. Well, buckle up, Chris.
All right, I'm
Um,
ready.
you're ready. Good. So I'm the founder and brand strategist behind Visionary Advantages Brand Strategy Group. And what we do is I have an amazing team of people who loves helping businesses with all things marketing, branding, anything to elevate your brand and level up. Another passion of mine is I also help entrepreneurs as well. They always come to me with, hey, how can I start my business? And I give them the tools and resources for marketing and branding to get them on the right path. And my heart is in it because I am an entrepreneur. Hello, that's who I am now. I always have been. I first started a business at 16. I've had a couple in between. And now I feel like this is my real calling to help other people with marketing and starting business. So that is it. Me in a nutshell.
And I think during the intro I mentioned blairebrown.com. That's still a good website for you, I
Yep,
imagine.
nailed
I
it.
was I was on your website, and one of the things that I thought was very helpful for that would have been nice for me whenever I was a starting entrepreneur and I could still take advantage of today is your entrepreneur resources page.
Yeah.
That is excellent. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Thank you. So, whenever you're starting a business, it's so important to find the right resources. I feel like everybody gets caught in that Google rabbit hole, right? You start researching for hours and hours, and you're kind of scared because it's kind of new. But you want to take the leap, but which one do you take? What direction? So, why not take my years of experience and of course, all the mistakes that I've also made starting out, we all have, and why don't I cut the learning curve in half by putting the best resources possible on my website so that way you can take advantage of it. And instead of having to search Google for those hours, go to my website. It's a little one-stop shop. I show you the best things that I use now. And I just want to cut the learning curve in half.
All right, that's enough of the shameless plug for you. I have some legit branding and marketing questions that I
All
have
right.
to ask. All right,
Okay.
let's get down to work, what you actually get paid to do.
Okay.
So you may recall or you may know that I recently this last weekend just did a TEDx.
I know. I'm in the presence of a TEDx star right now, guys. I'm
Wow,
pumped.
star may be a stretch, but as
He's a
part
star,
of that TEDx, and that was more than just a shameless plug for myself, as part
as
of
he
that
should.
TEDx, uh, I did some research because TEDx, you should tell the truth during your talk, I imagine.
Mhm.
And one of the statistics I found was that there are that in 2020, Facebook received $7.2 billion in advertising revenue.
Whew. Wow.
And right, so that means it's important for advertisers to be on Facebook, so that therefore it's also important for entrepreneurs and business people to be on Facebook. And when we start talking about, so if you could talk about content, a little bit about frequency, what is ideal to put on Facebook specifically, or LinkedIn specifically, that can get new entrepreneurs and business owners start to get that social media presence?
Sure. That's a really great question. So, social media, whether you like it or not, it is the necessary evil to get yourself out there. Some people are like, oh, I really hate social media. I just don't want to do it. And they're business owners. I'm like, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you got to get over that right now because it's it's so necessary, especially as you're starting out because it's free advertising. I mean, you can put a post up on Facebook or LinkedIn. You can start a very impressive looking business page on either of those platforms. And so you got to take advantage of that by building up your presence. And to build your presence, you got to think about branding. Okay. So is your logo on all your posts, or is it at least visible and it's not cut off on the cover photo or something? Oftentimes people are like, okay, yeah, I started this page. My business is right there. And it's like, you can't even see your logo. Y'all, who's going to want to buy from that company, right? Like really think about it. That's your presence. You need to put your best foot forward in order for people to want to come and pay for your services or your product. So make sure it looks professional no matter where you're at. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, I don't care, professional. Another good thing for branding would be your color palette. Choose a couple of colors that you're consistent with on these posts. Think about the way you're talking to your audience. Is it friendly and fun, or are you more serious and, black and white here on every single thing that you write? Be consistent. And if you maintain that consistency across social media, it's going to start building your brand really effectively because no matter what, if somebody goes to your Facebook page and then they happen to click a link that brings them to LinkedIn, it looks streamlined like it's on one brand. And it makes sense when you go from page to page instead of being disconnected. And I think a lot of times entrepreneurs are so excited, let's get my business out there. And they have 100 ideas. So then things kind of start falling apart. But when you start your brand, make sure that you have something consistent looking across the board, and that's going to go really far.
And that all should tie back to your website, which you should be using for
Yes,
lead generation, right? Or where you're capturing your
absolutely.
lead generation. So
Exactly.
so
It all
from
goes
your website
together.
to Facebook to LinkedIn, it should all look very similar.
Simple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If not
exactly. Like
exactly the same. Yeah.
if you have them all side by side, let's say,
Hmm.
it should look like it's all from the same brand. And yeah, absolutely from your website for sure.
All right. So one of the things that I struggle with is video content, right? I have
Mhm.
I have friends, colleagues who they'll throw their cell phone up on the dashboard of their car and they'll do
Sounds
25,
really safe.
they'll do 10 30-second clips while they're driving to get gas, which can be expensive these days. Uh,
Yes.
but but they do that consistently. Um, so in terms, if I had to make a decision between doing a 30-second video or having a nice picture,
Mhm.
what is you know what is the going to get me the most engagement for my buck, because I either spend time making videos or finding cool pictures to post?
Well, that's something that I'm gonna be honest here. For a long time, I was like, oh, myself, I don't wanna put all these videos up of myself. Like, I have a fashion industry background, so I want things to look just right. So I was overly critical on a lot of my posts whenever I was really getting my brand off the ground. But the game changer was video content. Honestly, the interactions, responses from you posting a 30-second photo, or not photo, video, at this gas station, something casual, you're being authentically you, and it's not, edited 5,000 times. That's going to be way more authentic to the people watching, and they're going to resonate with it more rather than the perfectly photoshopped photo that you spent, 3 hours critiquing, and then you post it on this wall and it's not responsive. You just look good. So videos are way more effective. You hope you look good.
Yeah, for me that isn't a possibility.
Stop.
I'm a man of a certain age, and I just have accepted that. So we want our we want our branding to be consistent from our website to our social media posts, and then to the greatest extent possible, we want videos because they're
Yeah.
more engaging. So
Mhm.
the question I always get from entrepreneurs, and I'm sure you get this too, is how much should I post? Is it once a week?
Ooh.
Is it every day? And I always say it depends, but I would like a professional answer from you on
All
the spot
right.
right now. How much should I
On the
post?
spot. Do I get a drum roll? Come on, Chris. Uh, I'm kind of with you on depends. So, ding, ding, ding. Basically, it just depends on your audience. Who are you talking to? What's your platform? Do you even know who that is? Do a little bit of market research, figure out where your audience is hanging out, and then test it. Test it out. Does it work for them 3 days a week? Does it work every single day? From there, trial and error. You don't have to be so serious about social media. As long as it looks, it's consistent with your branding, test things out, you're gonna be fine. I just before I hopped on this call, I'm trying my first collaboration reel on Instagram, which is like the newest thing on Instagram. It gets a lot of engagement. And I was really hesitant about doing reels at first because I was like, oh, it's another thing I have to learn, but I know it's necessary. So I just did like 20 tries of this collaboration reel, but I can't do the snap on the same time that my friend is collaborating with me. And so I'm here in this room laughing by myself doing a collaboration reel because it counts. All these things add up over time, and you just have to be consistent, make it fun, don't stress about it. So yeah, just be consistent, and it does depend.
So I'm an advocate of every day.
Mhm.
And the reason I'm an advocate of every day, and I'm not a professional, but I've done some A and B testing,
Uh-huh.
and particularly on Facebook and LinkedIn for busy professionals, which is my market, right?
Uh-huh.
They're not on social media every day.
Mhm.
So if I want to catch them the 2 or 3, 4 times they come on in a week or during a work week, I have to be on every day.
Mhm. Mhm.
Otherwise, I don't show up in their feed. So that's my, and then, on the weekends, normally schedule out something a little lighter, more humorous, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But for business purposes, I'm an everyday uh, poster. I try to be.
Yeah, I try to on certain platforms like on Instagram stories because it's always at the top. If they log into Instagram, it's at the top of your page. I'm like
Hmm.
losing my words right now. But it's just more active and you can do the video content very quickly. So I do like that. But if you do post every day, it kind of builds up this omnipresence, of your business, which is great because like you said, if your person is busy and they're not on every day, when are they going to catch you? So if you're
Hmm.
capturing those opportunities every chance you can, more likely you're going to land on their feed.
And in the 3 years I've been uh, with this business, no one has ever sent me a message and said, please stop posting on social media.
That's a good point.
Right. So if I maybe eventually if somebody sends me an email or a message and says, please don't post so much, then I might scale it back. But right now, I don't, and I'm trying to do my ABs, right? So what is getting the most engagement? So if I'm not doing that consistently, then the amount of time that it takes me to gain that data from
Mhm,
my AB testing is significantly longer, and I'm wasting time and money, right? Even though
mhm,
it's just me with a video camera or me uh, doctoring a picture, that's all time, which is money.
mhm.
So for anybody that's not familiar with what A/B testing is, it's like put a picture of somebody in a red shirt, picture of a brown shirt. Which one do you like more? That's A/B testing, one against the other.
Right. Mhm.
And that's why I'm an advocate of every day and running my ABs uh, on odd days.
That's
So
smart.
that way I make sure when I look at my traffic analysis via Google and other analysis tools that I know which ones are working, and so I can do more of those and stop doing the other things that are wasting my time.
Right. And you know what? It's a good point that you said nobody's ever complained about getting too much of your social media content. I really love that you said that. And I feel the same way about email marketing. Is
Mm.
people all the time are well, people are scared of sending emails maybe too often. They get a little scared, their voice changes. But really, I haven't heard any complaints. And, I personally like to send out about 2 a week to my subscribers, and, I just focus on providing a lot of value, and as long as you just build up the value, you send out the resources, etcetera, you gotta remember when you're writing these emails that people signed up to be subscribers. So,
Hmm.
they wanna hear from you, and there's a reason why they're obviously interested in whatever you're selling. So provide a lot of value and then you can send out, more than one a week if you want.
Yeah, I follow quite a few people. Some send 2 or 3 emails a day, which I find overwhelming a little bit.
Mhm.
But uh, and unless the title is catchy, I don't open it
Yeah.
because it's just a little too much for me. The one a days, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Generally I'll see what they have to say,
Mhm.
and so that email marketing I don't do enough. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm also dyslexic, so writing is difficult
Mhm.
for me. So I don't do as much email marketing as I should.
Mhm. Mhm.
Social media and videos are a lot easier because I don't have to write anything,
There you
uh,
go.
and they just so happen to get better engagement. So there you go. Uh, so BlaireBrown.com. If you are missing any of the nuggets Blaire's putting out, that is the place to go. Uh, Contact her, get on her schedule for that consultation. Uh, Blaire,
Yeah.
uh, a couple more topics here, Blaire.
Okay, I'm
All
I'm
right,
here for it.
what's the next big thing? I know you got something coming out here.
I am excited. I am launching my podcast. And so,
Oh,
everybody listening, you got to subscribe, listen, send a review. It is called Curate Your Success because success can mean so many things to so many people, but it's up to you to go for it, right? Curate your success. So it's geared for people for mostly entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, people that want to get inspired and learn about business. Because in it, I interview a lot of really wonderful people, and you're next up on the list, Chris. I'm really excited about your episode. But we're launching this podcast, and so I can't be more excited, to be honest.
well, congratulations on the launch.
Thank you.
I know that's a lot of hours sitting there going up, edit, edit, change, edit, edit. Uh, that's why I like radio, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it is a little more freewheeling, I guess, than podcasts, but
Yeah. Yeah.
more limiting in some ways in the terms of the language you can use. But
Mhm.
but I don't edit anything, so that's good for
Mhm.
me. So
Yeah.
we got the podcast coming up that's going to launch when,
Tomorrow.
and it's Curate Your Success, and where can
Yep.
we find it?
You can stream it basically anywhere that has a podcast streaming service. Apple, so that's iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, you name it, it's there.
Curate Your
Ready
Success.
for you to subscribe. Yeah,
We
curate your
are
success.
we are going
A-
to look out for that.
yeah, it's gonna be it's already been so much fun for me. I've been so fortunate to get some amazing people on the show. So so hop in and tune in.
Now, I have uh, we've had a couple conversations, and one of the things I think I know about you is that you love to teach people
Yes.
and help entrepreneurs be successful. I was snooping around your website as I often do for my guests,
Oh,
and
okay.
putting that together with our conversations. I think you have some training videos or some training opportunities coming up, I think.
It's true.
Ah,
The cat's out of the bag. So yes, and I am still in the planning stages, but I am launching a program where it's about starting a business. How do you do it? Where do you start? And it's exactly what we mentioned earlier, where People just get lost in Google. It's like this, quicksand that they're just trying to get out and they don't know how. So I remove the roadblocks there. I have video tutorials. I walk people through exactly how you get from that starting point to all the way through the marketing and branding yourself to sell. And then also the operationals piece of things like hiring a team. Where do you even start with hiring a team, et cetera, and how to automate and streamline your processes. So that way, as an entrepreneur, you're able to grow and move on instead of just doing the tiny tasks all the time that take up all your time. So I'm building that out right now. It has a group call component. So that way, if you're feeling stuck somewhere, you can hop on a group call. I'll be there to, give advice and help walk you through it. And it's going to be really great. So I'm building that right now. And as you can tell, I'm really fired up. So, launch a podcast first. Next step, course building. So
There we go. And that you said something that reminds me of a saying, right? The things you never want to do by yourself. The two things you never want to do alone is be in love and start a business. So if you're starting a
yeah,
business, you definitely want a community. You want to be in a
absolutely.
community, and you want to have a support network for people that are interested in your success, not just willing to answer questions, because there's a big difference.
Oh yeah, there is a huge difference. And I feel like community is such a big deal with entrepreneurship. And I'm felt so lucky with the people that I've in the past I've crossed with them just by like Facebook group of communities. It's funny how you can really connect with somebody through Facebook of all places in the entrepreneurship world.
Hmm.
So I'm a big person of pushing find your community online and surround yourself with people that are aspiring to do great things like you are as well.
Yep. I mine Facebook strategically to connect with people who are like me, that get excited about helping other people be successful. You I'm sure but for other people that are listening, my company, which is a leadership development company, we give away all of our profits. We donate all of our profits to charity,
Amazing.
because we believe in the success of other people, and ultimately that benefits us because we have a better community.
Mhm.
And who doesn't want to live in a better community, right? So
Yeah.
that's why we donate all of our profits, and it's because we have a hopeful outlook for our future, right?
Mhm.
Our everything we do is built on the hope of an outcome. So you started a podcast because you're hopeful that the outcome is increasing your audience and impacting entrepreneurs and making a difference. That's
Mhm.
hope. That's progress towards your future.
Mhm.
Uh, and so that's the reason we donate all of our our profits to charity. Uh, as we're winding
Amazing.
as we're winding down, uh, the last question I always ask, whether it's on ESPN radio or right here on the International Business Growth Radio Network, every guest, and some kind of shuffle their feet and act like they don't know, but they should. And I'm sure that you do
Spoiler.
know, what gives you hope for the future.
For me, I just love the movement of community and collaboration over competition. Because I think if you go into any sort of friendship or partnership or anything with your business or just life, say, hey, how can we work together? How can we make something awesome and great and fun and creative? Positive. Like, what can we make as a positive outcome? And if you go into anything in life with that kind of mindset of community and collaboration, you are just going to go so far. And instead of thinking like, oh, that could be in the way of me being built up, because the fact is that there's no limit, there's no limited number of people that are going to be successful. That's just not a thing, even though a lot of
Hmm.
people think so. So instead of tearing people down and being anxious about it, why don't we build each other up? So for me, what gives me hope is the fact that there's such a huge movement right now for that, of building each other up, because that's what it should all be about. Build each other up and work together.
Yeah, and we are coming to a close here, but I just want to you said competition and tearing each other down, and I just want to leave a thought with us as we're leaving. For those people who are always looking to tear other people down, and they believe that they have competition, it's just a fallacy. There, you don't have any competitors that you need to crush, right?
Yeah.
Because what happens if you win, right? What happens if you crush that competitor? What next? Do you close your doors because you no longer have a goal?
Yeah.
It's not a thing. Why are we intentionally trying to ruin our own enjoyment out of the things we are finding joy and success in because we're comparing them to somebody who is not us? So the idea that we have
Exactly.
competitors is ridiculous. Uh,
Yeah.
but you know, so we are out of time, and I want to thank you, Blaire, again. You are always such a fantastic guest, and I look
You're the
forward to
best.
being on your podcast.
Oh, be
Uh,
ready. I'm excited.
and for everyone listening out there on the International Business Growth Radio, this is Chris Mayfield. I'm the host of the Fusion Hub, where we mix business, community, and culture together. And we will speak to you again next Saturday at 10:30.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Curate Your Success podcast today. I am so excited that we got to spend time together. Want more? Hop on over to curateyoursuccesspodcast.com for show notes, all the links mentioned, and discount codes from today's episode. And if you love today's episode, like, subscribe, share it with a friend. I'd be so grateful. Until next time, keep making moves to curate your success.